Blake with the Three Hand Hunter channel, and thanks for joining me today. I'm going to get into a review of the Timex Navi XL, but before I do so, I just want to ask, if you like content and seeing watches that you might not see on every other YouTube channel, make sure you give me a subscribe and like the video if you really like it. I do appreciate it. I just want to take you all through my personal journey and hope you guys are enjoying the ride. Now, I've always wondered, should I even give Timex the time of day? I mean, you know, Timex has been around forever, and many of us have picked up Timex watches over the years, and you know, after owning a few, I had to take a look at this Navi XL and see if it was really even worth my time or anybody else's time. So I'm going to get into the review of this watch, but I want to say right off the bat, for the price, it's not a bad watch. I was way more impressed with this watch than I thought I was going to be. So, you know, this watch that I have right here, this other Timex, this is a really, you know, I have to say it's a cheaply made, inexpensive Timex. It's the one that has Indiglow. The dial lights up. You know, the case, I'm not even sure if this is steel. I think the case might actually be like a brass, like covered brass, but it's cool looking. It looks kind of like an IWC. It's got an acrylic crystal, and it's inexpensive, but it's fun, and it's always reliable, and it's, you know, it's always around, and I can put it on and at any time and wear it, and it looks cool. But the build quality is what you would expect for a, you know, $100 or less watch. You can probably find these out on the gray market now for, you know, $50, $60, $70, and it is what you would expect. But when I saw the Navi XL, I was like, this watch actually looks a step above everything else that Timex puts out. Now, they have a couple other lines that are really cool, but from their, you know, just their average watches, I thought, man, I've got to try one. I've got to see if it is a better watch. And I will tell you firsthand, this is a far superior watch than this. But you can feel it, and you can feel the build quality. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that for a second, but I want to talk about some of the unique features of this watch. Now, this watch is a 41 millimeter case, so you can see it right here. I'm going to use the calipers really fast, and you can see all the measurements. So it's a 41 millimeter case, just right around 41 millimeters, right? Perfect size, lug to lug. It's so wearable. It's, you know, well, this is about 50. I think it's a little less than that, but let me see here. It's close to 49 and a half. So it wears really well. It's going to fit a lot of wrists. 20 millimeter lug width. Okay. And, you know, the thickness for this watch is 13 millimeters. So it's like comparable to most dive watches that you would expect to get at, you know, just a very comfortable size. But look at some of the features of this watch. Look at the case finishing. Now, this is a gunmetal black, which, looking on the Timex site, it is not available. You can still find these out on the market, but this gunmetal black is a really cool, beautiful finish, actually. It's heavy, it's weighted. The bezel action is great. It's not super easy to grip because, as you can see in the bezel, it's very smooth. So it's not really easy to grip, but there is like zero back play. I mean, this 120 click bezel is very, very high quality. I think a lot of other watch companies could probably learn something from the way that Timex does the bezel. I mean, it really, everything lines up perfect. Look at the dial and the applied indices. And one of the cool things about this watch that I think is, take a look at the dial and take a look at the handset. The handset, you know, normally for like a Rolex style watch, you would see these Mercedes handsets, right? So the hour hand would be like a Mercedes hand. But this hand, they remove the middle of it, and you can see that it's open, and it displays the military time or the 24-hour time inside the hand. And I thought that was really a cool feature. The handset is very legible. The indices are applied, and with the lume isn't great, but it's not horrible. I've seen worse on Vostok watches. I've seen worse on some of these Chinese watches, but the lume's not horrible, and the applied markers are very classy and very well done. Very well done. Now this is a mineral crystal, and you either love or hate the date. What do you call it? Magnifier. As I get a little older, and I can appreciate the date magnifier. It's very legible for me, but I know some people just really don't like it. Now there's a display case back, and that displays the Miyota movement. Now this movement is that one movement that spins and spins and spins, and there's a lot of rotor noise. It's not a beautiful movement, but it's what people like to term a workhorse Miyota movement. I believe it's a 9000 series, so it does not have hacking, but it does have hand widening. Now the drawback to this dive style watch is that it does not have a screw down crown. It has 100 meters of water resistance. So there's 100 meters of water resistance. So it's 100 meters of water resistance right there. But it's great for desk diving. And obviously if you get pushed in the pool and you have your watch on, it's not going to be a big deal. Whenever I don't have a screw down crown, I just don't swim with the watch. That's just a personal preference. I know that it'd probably be okay if it dunked my hand underwater, and if I fell in the water, but I'm not going to go swimming with a watch that doesn't have a screw down crown, even if it has a screw down case back. And I know gaskets on newer watches are going to be, they should be able to take it, but that's just like I said, it's a personal preference. Now, one of the other things I want to point out is this vintage style tropic strap. This, I don't know if it's FKM rubber, but it's not a lint magnet like a lot of FKM rubber or a lot of rubber straps. The actual tropic strap is very, very well constructed, very well made. I was impressed. It's got a signed Timex buckle that, unfortunately, if it's just stainless steel. I wish it would have been the PVD or ion plating, or this gunmetal plating. It would have been really quite a nice touch if they did that. But the crown is easy to manipulate. It's easy to while it's protected by the crown guards, you can still hand wind the watch. And like I said, some of the features of this watch, of having that handset that you can see the military time, like when it's 9 o'clock, well, in the afternoon, it'd be 2100 hours, right? If it's 9 o'clock in the morning right now, but if it was in the evening, you'd know it's 2100 hours. That's a really cool feature. And I don't know why other watchmakers don't take a cue from Timex and use that similar handset. I think it's a real neat feature. I could see somebody, a watchmaker like Hamilton, doing that. But I wanted to just show this to you because I think it's a really far superior watch than most of the Timexes that you might be accustomed to, with these acrylic crystals. And if you get an opportunity to get one of these Timexes, I think it's a great opportunity if you can get it at a decent price. Now, I don't have a 5KX with me. I have an older SKX 009 009K version. So this is the Indonesian made model. Seiko makes the Seiko 5KX, or a lot of people call them, the old 5KXs, but that's the new Seiko 5s. I would say that, since I've handled one, the 5KX is a very similar build quality to the Navi XL. So if you are wondering, are these similar build qualities? I think they are. This Navi XL feels very similar to a 5KX. So if you like the style, you like the way it looks, and you're wondering about the build quality, it's a nice build quality. And like I said, those 5KXs, They don't have screw down crowns either. It's just a different case shape. This one that's going to be a little bit, 42 millimeter versus 41 millimeter, 4 o'clock crown versus 3 o'clock crown, more of a Rolex Submariner type of case versus, Seiko SKX case, right? So it just depends what your preferences are. Now, one other thing I wanted to show you before I throw this on my wrist is I want to show you the packaging. And this was rather impressive. Excuse me if the box is a little dirty. It's a really nice package that this Timex came in. Very solid watch box. I was pretty impressed with that. If you have a Seiko, the affair that you have there. So I'm going to take off. This is a Meritech LSA. This is a titanium watch. I will be doing a review on this watch. There were only 50 of these made with the no date version. So you're gonna get a review of this watch here in the coming weeks. So just stick around for that. Very cool watch. I've really enjoyed it. I've owned a couple Meritechs. So, but I'm gonna put this Navi XL on my wrist so you can see what it's like on a 7¼ inch wrist. And I want to say that this Tropic strap, really good quality, really good quality. I don't think it's very long though. I have a 7¼ inch wrist, and this is how much strap I have left. I mean, if I had a 8 inch wrist, it's going to be really tight on my wrist. But look how it wears. It wears really well, super comfortable, and I can't complain about this watch. I have to say that this watch is really well made, and I wanted to try it out for myself, but I wanted to show you guys as well, because I think it's something that if you like the style, it's a great desk diver. It's a great everyday watch. I don't think it's it's going to fit the bill for the one watch collection that you might want, but it is a watch that, like I said, for the price, it's pretty cool. If you're looking at a Seiko 5KX and you want something maybe just a little bit different, and maybe from a different company, a brand that's been around forever like Timex, like I said, I don't think it's a bad choice. They have a lot of different colors out there, a lot of different colorways. This is the the gunmetal black one, and it's got a cool contrasting bezel. The timing bezel here with the 1 through 15 minute in silver. I think it's really kind of kind of cool and almost tactical, if you will. And so this is a really cool colorway that I thought we'd try. But like I said, guys, if you like this type of content and if you like to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you like this content. And let me give you the rotor noise really quick. Let's see if you can hear this. Stand by. I'm going to keep this watch in frame. I don't know if you could hear that, but there is a lot of rotor noise in this watch. You have to keep that in mind when you're wearing this Miyota movement. It only spins in one direction, and it's loud. It's loud, but I don't mind that. I love mechanical watches, and so if you don't mind that either, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's a cool feature. Some people get annoyed with it, not me. Anyway, if you made it this far, let me introduce myself. My name is Blake. I'm a bit of a watchaholic, and I think if you've made it this far in the video, you're probably a watchaholic too. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys in the next video.